In this presentation, we're going to talk about self-reflection, focusing on breathing first, and how important it is to be aware of our breathing when we play an instrument.
Also, we will discuss in relation to balance the importance of a good alignment on the body in relation to the violin playing itself.
And the last one will be weight shifting and how important it is to be aware on the delivering of the weight when we play. Breathing is essential to any violinist looking for balance and freedom of movement. So this is a citation from the book What Every Violinist Needs to Know About the Body. In order to understand how breathing works, we first need to know which muscles are involved in this process. So those muscles are ribs, diaphragm, abdominal and pelvic viscera, and pelvic floor. As string instrumentalists, it's not really common that our teachers teach us how to breathe or how to connect that breathing with our actual playing. So in my personal experience, I never learned how to connect my breathing with my playing until this class.
Even though string players do not need to use their breathing to make sound, it is important that we understand that remapping the breathing structure is not just for singers anymore. It affects us in our breathing process, the tension that we usually have in our body, in the upper torso, in our neck, in our jaw. We usually have a lot of tension or a lack of good posture. So sometimes there are violinists that have this posture when they're playing, and this also is affecting the breathing process in a way or another. So it is just important to know that we need to understand how the breathing process is working in us, even though we are not gonna need it to make the sound itself. The second point that we will discuss in this presentation is related to the balance. As we can see in the image, cord runs directly down through the body center from the top of the spine to the feet. This figure is on balance and is showing us all the places of balance in our body. Also in the book that we were reading, there's a citation about how violinists who organize their movement from a place of balance around the core move effortlessly and freely.
So in my case, and I think in the case of many string players or even musicians in general, balance was affected by a lack of understanding of body mapping, and that obviously creates me tension. So one way to try to find a good balance and a better posture and play without tension is look for the right accessories for your instrument. In the case of the violinist, we have a chin rest and a shoulder rest. This is a shoulder rest. And in my case, I have to use a chin rest, a central chin rest. I used to have one that goes here. Now I changed it for this one, and without shoulder rest, just this sponge here. So we need to understand that everybody's different and we need to feel comfortable with our instruments.
The last point that we are going to explain has relation to the weight shifting. So in order to be able to shift our weight properly, we need to acknowledge which parts of our body are actually receiving our weight when we play. As we can see in the image, we have two options, playing standing or sitting. So when we are standing, the weight of the torso is delivered through the lumbar cord to the bottom lumbar vertebra, behaving as the keystone of an arc. The final destination of our weight is the place where our feet meet the ground. On the other hand, when we are playing sitting, the torso's weight is delivered through the lumbar cord to the place where the sit bones meet the chair.
Knowing now that we don't sit on our legs, but we have to sit on our sit bones, we need to be aware of that when we are actually playing, because sometimes we forgot that fact. So for example, my chair is not too tall, so I'm going to sit as comfortable as possible because this is what I have. In this case, I need to really feel the sit bones touching the chair. And now that I feel that I cannot be like this because this is wrong, my core is not in the correct position, so I need to relax and then play. This is like the first step to be able to have a good practice or a good performance if you're playing sit down. So now I'm going to show you like the wrong way in which people normally play and the correct way that we should play all the time in order to avoid those back pains that we actually have a lot. So this is the wrong way. When we are not acknowledging our sit bones and I'm here sitting on my legs, normally I tend to do this. And here everything is wrong. I don't have enough space to play with my whole ball. And this does not feel good. So I'm moving now to my sit bones and sitting straight. And I can balance this, shift the weight to one leg, to one sit bone to the other one. It is important to know that we have to come back to our first place. We cannot stay here or either here. We need to come back all the time to our place that we really feel comfortable. So now when we're playing standing, we need to deliver all our weight to our feet. So there are people that actually play all the time going to the front, and obviously everything is wrong because the core is not on the correct position, and they can fall in every moment. So other people can also block the knees, and that change everything too. So before shift the weight, we need to be aware of that our weight is on our feet. So now I'm going to show a little bit of the concert that I'm playing and trying to shift the weight and make music with that, being aware of that shifting. So in order to feel good at the beginning, I need to know that I do not have the knees blocked and my feet are like really feeling the floor.